A sanctioned oil tanker linked to Russia's war economy is now drifting in the Mediterranean, raising fresh questions about Moscow's shadow fleet. But how this sudden off-course of this Russian tanker is grabbing everyone's attention. The vessel, carrying a massive load of Russian crude, suddenly veered off a busy shipping corridor near North Africa before slowing to a crawl. Soon after, it declared itself not under command, a maritime signal that something had gone seriously wrong on board. The LR2 class tanker named Progress was sailing along the North African coast near Algeria with a destination of the Suez Canal when it passed Algiers early on January 21. The ship was reportedly carrying about 730,000 barrels of Russian Urals, crude. Tracking data cited by Bloomberg showed the ship continuing to drift slowly eastward at a speed of 1 knot the following day. Tracking data shows the tanker barely moving, pushed only by currents as it drifts eastward, a red flag for maritime authorities monitoring the region. The aging ship is already on Western blacklist radar for helping transport Russian oil, a crucial funding stream for the Kremlin's war in Ukraine. Since sanctions were imposed, the tanker has repeatedly changed identities, including its name and the flag of the country, and also it was recently brought under Russia's own shipping registry. Ownership records trace the vessel to a Russia-based firm that has stayed silent as scrutiny mounts. This incident comes as European nations intensify crackdowns on Russia's so-called shadow fleet, a network of older tankers accused of dodging sanctions through opaque ownership and deceptive practices. France, Germany, and Italy have all moved against such vessels in recent weeks, signaling that sanctioned ships, even at sea, are no longer sailing under the radar.
What is emerging on the world's oceans may signal a dangerous new phase in the global sanctions battle. New data now reveals a growing number of so-called shadow fleet oil tankers that are actively seeking Moscow's protection from Donald Trump. This the tankers are doing by switching their flags of registration to Russia. This shift has sharply accelerated after the United States began seizing vessels carrying sanctioned Venezuelan oil. As Washington moves to reshape Venezuela's oil future, an unexpected winner is emerging: Russia. New maritime intelligence shows Moscow quietly expanding its grip over the global shadow fleet, just as the United States ramps up enforcement against sanctioned Venezuelan crude. According to Lloyd's List, there has been a sharp acceleration in oil tankers switching their flag of registration to Russia, a move widely seen as an attempt to gain protection from U.S. seizures. In December alone, 17 sanctioned vessels abandoned fraudulent registries and reflagged under the Russian banner. At the center of this shift is a tanker once known as Bella 1. The ship was intercepted by U.S. authorities on December 20th while en route to Venezuela to load sanctioned oil. At the time, it was sailing under a fake Guyana flag. Days later, Russia notified Washington that the vessel had changed its name, now Marinera, and switched its registration to Russia, mid-voyage. Tracking data shows the tanker has since left the Caribbean and is now near Iceland, heading toward Russian waters. Lloyd's List says the timing was no coincidence. This was an attempt to place the ship under Moscow's protection, beyond the reach of U.S. enforcement. And it wasn't alone. Another sanctioned tanker, now called Hyperion, reflagged to Russia just days later. That ship had previously delivered Russian naphtha, a key chemical used to thin Venezuela's heavy crude, allowing it to be exported despite sanctions. Despite a growing U.S. naval presence, the vessel exited Venezuelan waters untouched. experts say the message is clear. As Washington tightens pressure, Russia is absorbing risk and gaining leverage. President Donald Trump has said U.S. oil giants will invest billions into Venezuela's energy sector following Nicolas Maduro's overthrow, with Chevron, ExxonMobil, and ConocoPhillips preparing talks with the administration. But analysts warn the enforcement push is producing unintended consequences. More than 40 shadow fleet vessels have now registered under Russia since June. Globally, over 12% of the world's tanker fleet is operating outside traditional insurance and regulatory systems. Many of these ships are aging, uninsured, and invisible until something goes wrong. Lloyd's List warns a major spill involving one of these tankers would raise a chilling question: who pays for the cleanup? As Russian-flagged vessels pass through NATO waters, often under false identities, a deeper challenge looms. Will the United States be willing to intercept a Russian-flagged tanker? Because if not, Moscow's shadow fleet may soon become a permanent feature of global oil trade, protected, emboldened, and operating in plain sight. And as oil flows, so does power.
The United States has captured Venezuela's president in a midnight raid, and now Donald Trump says America is taking its oil. As Caracas counts its dead, Washington counts barrels. 30 to 50 million barrels of Venezuelan crude headed straight to American ports at market price under presidential control. This is no longer diplomacy. This is power politics, live and raw. President Donald Trump announced Tuesday that Venezuela's so-called interim authorities will supply the United States with between 30 million and 50 million barrels of high-quality oil. The oil, Trump said on Truth Social, will be loaded onto storage ships and delivered directly to U.S. unloading docks. Trump added that the revenue from the oil would be controlled by him as president and used to benefit both the American and Venezuelan people. Trump has doubled down, saying his administration will now run Venezuela policy and push its leaders to open vast oil reserves to American energy companies. The White House is now organizing an Oval Office meeting with executives from Exxon, Chevron, and ConocoPhillips to discuss Venezuela's future energy landscape. Trump has also dismissed Democratic criticism of the raid, arguing both parties long agreed Maduro was illegitimate. Speaking at a House Republican retreat, Trump complained Democrats refused to credit him for what he called a successful operation.
And it was an amazing military feat that took place yesterday. Think of it, an amazing military. The people are saying, well, thank you. You know, people are saying it goes down with one of the most incredible. It was so complex, 152 airplanes, many, talk about boots on the ground. We had a lot of boots on the ground. But it was amazing. And think of it, nobody was killed. And on the other side, a lot of people were killed. Unfortunately, I say that, soldiers. Cubans, mostly Cubans, but many killed. And they knew we were coming, and they were protected, and our guys weren't. You know, our guys are jumping out of helicopters, and you're not protected, and they were. But it was so brilliant.
Times of India videos, your daily dose of India and the world. Global news, different views, and sharp analysis.
Pressure of expectation from your fans, your supporters.
That is often served as a backdrop for several Bollywood.
You're not a brute majority anymore if you individually take out their right.
Making sense of global conflicts. Tracking the new emerging world order.
strike on Israeli military bases.
A multi-pronged.
To stay out of harm's way as Israel started bombing targets across.
Understanding changing alliances in a polarized world. Tune into TOI videos for all this and more. Click on the bell icon to subscribe and never miss an update.